My name is Joshua Sale. I am a vehicle transporter. I collect the scrap cars that have not been taxed and have been impounded, and I take them to the scrapyard for either scrapping or auction. Wake up quite early in the morning, do my checks and stuff like that. And as soon as I wake up, I've got an app on my phone which sends all my reports down to head office. Um, yeah, I spend quite a lot of time in the morning actually going over my wagon because safety is number one priority with one of these things. Because one thing goes wrong, that's life or death for somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I come down to the place where we are at now, which is one of the pickup places. I go around, take pictures of each of the cars, each corner, inside the VIN number, and a little sticker that I put on as well with a barcode, so that when it gets to one of the drop-off points, they can just scan it into the system and go on from there. And then after taking all the pictures, I then load. The kind of vehicles that I get are usually cars. Some of them have been in major accidents, so his get lifted onto the back with a forklift, and then I shove my hooks on it and then winch it the rest of the way. Sometimes it is quite hard, but no, come rain or shine, I'm always there to pick up cars. I had quite a few roles in the military. I was in for 6 years. I started off in the King's Royal Hussars during basic training, but then I transferred into the Household Cavalry Regiment, where I then did 2 years ceremonial, where I was on horseback doing the Queen's Birthday Parade, state opening of Parliament, and stuff like that. I went into recruiting for a year, where I was the face of the British Army. Just speaking to younger people who actually want to join and telling them what sort of roles they can actually go into.
Yeah.
After doing that, I then went back to Knightsbridge to do another year of ceremonial, and then I got the call to say, yeah, now it's time to go and learn how to drive tanks. So, CVRTs is a combat vehicle reconnaissance tract. So it's like a smaller version of a tank that that the army would use to go behind enemy lines and just tell them all the intel that they need to get. I never actually did any tours, which I was quite lucky in that sort of sense. I know that was the reason why I joined, but when I actually went through basic training, they actually turned around and said that we're going to go to a inactive sort of thing. And they was pulling out of Afghan at the time, which was 2012. I learned how to drive CVRTs, and then I just went on exercises for a couple of years, and I went through Canada, Austria, France, Germany, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, because the CVRTs, they are, like I say, small. It's like just a bit bigger than a van.
Yeah.
So stepping into a HGV where I'm 60 foot long and quite a lot taller. Because this can go up to 16'5". But I try and stay a lot below that. But it can really get up there in the height wise. My problem solving is one of the biggest things that I use, because when doing this sort of job, like I said earlier, with the cars that have been absolutely mangled and stuff, you've got to be able to look at it and actually try and figure out a plan on how you're actually going to get this on there, because some of them missing like 2, maybe 3 wheels at the times. So you've got to, they don't really drag that well when they don't have something actually rotating to actually move forward. It's more of just a screech. But no, it's mainly problem solving. I do have a lot of mechanical knowledge from being in the military, which I have used by doing this, because there's been a time when my winch actually broke, and I had to pull the cables out and then put like red to green to make the winch go out, and red to yellow to make it go back in. but that was only that's once every blue moon. But I've still got the knowledge there. Uh, the the feeling of abandonment
Yeah.
is the main thing. Because yeah, I didn't do any tours or anything like that, but there was certain things that happened during my time that involved certain individuals, or yeah, mainly just certain individuals. Uh, but when I left, it was a case of they wasn't there anymore. I mean, the people that was actually helping me at the time, it was like as soon as the door is closed, the door is closed. It's there was no text or message or call. I went through a little bit of there was a thing that happened where it put me through a little bit of post-traumatic stress, um, and yeah, since then there's been nothing, and I had to take it upon myself to well, I went through depression, and then I went through. I called up the NHS because I was at the point of actually wanting to end my life.
Mm.
And then I called up the NHS, and that's when I started to get help. That was actually the one of the turnaround points of when I actually realised that I needed to make a lot of changes in my life, and that's when I actually came into doing this as well. Thankfully, the that's when Veterans into Logistics came into pretty much save my life.
Yeah, good.
Because if they didn't actually step in when they did, um, and if I didn't go through therapy and stuff like that, then I probably wouldn't be alive today. I went through job to job sort of thing, because a lot of people don't actually understand military personnel, or ex-military. As soon as they come out, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're ex-military. You should be able to find a job anywhere." Which, yeah, it's good saying that, but then once you're actually there trying to find the job, and you get one, and then everyone just seems like really intimidated because you've done something that they didn't, and then they just try and act tougher around you, and then but she's like, yeah, I'm just a normal guy, I'm just I joined the military and stuff like that, and I went through the training, and I did really really damn goddamn well in it, but then they a lot of people just tend to try and put you down more, just to like try and make sure that they
A
are,
bit of an ego thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
try and make sure that they are above you in
One up
the
you.
job.
Yeah.
I do enjoy a team sort of thing, which is why this job is so good, because we are a team at this place. Yeah, we are our own individuals in our own wagons and stuff like that, and it is a lot of solo sort of work, but they're always there on the other side of the phone. Like if I'm struggling with something, I can call up the one of the managers, Lloyd. I could call up the boss, Andy, and I can ask them for advice at any point, and they'll be like they've got that much experience that they can literally just talk to you just like you're a normal person, and just explain it in the nicest way for you to actually get the job done, and it always works. Like one of the times I was operating the low loader, I had to pick up a 7.5 ton lorry on the back of it, and it was missing a wheel, and I had just no idea how I was going to get it on. And I just called up Andy, the boss, and I just said to him, I don't know how I'm going to do this. He was like, "Oh, it's easy, mate. Yeah, just get your snatch block, get your winch, snatch it on, and just do this, that," and then just explained it in. Yeah, I just put it in very small detail there, but he explained it in great detail. And within the hour, I had it on, and I was on my way back home to get it offloaded. Um, and yeah, I had no idea how I was going to offload it either, because it was like my first couple of weeks doing the job. So I called him up again. I was like, "Andy, help!" And he then explained to me again best way to actually get it off, because the place where I was going, they only had like one or two forklifts, so that two forklifts aren't going to be able to lift a 7.5 ton lorry off the back of your trailer.
No.
So you need to reverse winch it, which was quite good fun. Just put a snatch block at the back of your wagon, and then curl the winch back on itself and drag it backwards. That was down to my own searching. So at the time, I was in a job where I was doing a lot of work in this job, but I just wasn't getting paid enough. So I looked out for. I knew that the UK needed drivers for lorries and stuff like that. So I thought to myself, you know what, that might be a good thing for me to go into because, and then, I'm slightly autistic as well. So when you see a big truck, it's just like, oh my god, that's amazing. Um, so I did a search on how much it actually costs to actually get your Class One license, and it was around 4,800, something like that. And I was like, well, I can't really afford my bills, so I can't afford that. So I looked at government funded stuff. I found loads of boot camps, and that's where I stumbled upon Veterans into Logistics. I knew that I needed to make changes in my life because, like I said earlier, I was on the verge of suicide. Really, yeah, I was going through therapy, and the therapist would actually tell me that yeah, maybe a change of career would actually help you out a lot. So that's essentially what I did, and that's when I stumbled across Veterans into Logistics and a bunch of other boot camps, which I applied for every boot camp under the sun that I could find. And then the actual last one I applied for was Veterans into Logistics, and they was actually the only one that called me back. Well, they first when I called them up, they reassured me that literally I told them my situation and where I was in my life at the time, which was a very dark place. And the first and foremost they reassured me. They said that everything's going to be all right. We are going to help you out. It may take us a few months to actually get you through it because they had a list of people that was going through the licenses with going through the same things as I was. Um, and they asked me if I could actually get funding for it, and I was like, I'll try, but I don't think I can. And they was like, don't worry about it, we've got it. And I made the call in, I think it was early December, and they got me on the course in early February. And then they give me feedback every week that I was doing submitting practice exams, and then they booked me in for the theory test, which they got me in for all three, which was the 100 questions, multiple, the I forgot what it's called
Hazard
now.
perception.
Hazard perception, that's the one, and then the CPC case study one. Got me in for all that. I actually failed the multiple choice one and passed the other two first time. Then they booked me in for the multiple choice again, literally the next week, and then I passed it. Um, and then they booked me in for the CPC reverse test, which passed that first time as well. And then they booked me in for the 8 consecutive days of driving training, which at the 8th day they had a driving session and then the test, which I also passed that first time as well. The training was absolutely fantastic. And then they also helped me find work as well. After I passed, they took me into the office, took my details for what sort of jobs I actually want to look at doing. Friday morning, I started applying for jobs, and then literally the best thing could have happened because that's when ADG Vehicle Transport Limited called me up the next day and was like, "You've just seen your application come across my desk. You applied last night, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did, yeah." And he was like, "Right, come down for an interview." I was like, "Brilliant. Where are you based?" They sent me an address. And then on the way down, they actually called me up again, and my little car speaker thing came up, and I answered, and then they was like, "By the way, you've already got the job. Just come down anyway, see your wagon." And I was like, "Fantastic." So I came down, and that's where my boss was, just waiting for me. And he was like, "Hey mate, how you doing? Congratulations, you got a job." And he was like, "How long have you been driving for?" I was like, "I've literally just passed my test." And he was like, "No bother, right? With this is your wagon. You can start Monday if you want. We're gonna send you out with one of our managers, Lloyd. He's gonna show you the job, walk you through everything, and yeah, this wagon will be your wagon till you know indefinitely." And I was like, "That's amazing." Yeah, so literally, I did apply for a lot of jobs, but every single job that I did see was you needed like 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years of experience. which yeah, for a new driver to find a job, it is quite hard to find a job. But I was very, very lucky that, you know, ADG was looking for somebody to, you know, fill one of the roles and stuff, because they didn't mind that I'd only just passed my test. Like, my life has completely turned around now. So I've been doing this job now for around 7 or 8 months, something like that. But I find it really funny when I'm speaking to people about the job that I do. Like, oh yeah, how long have you been doing this? And it was like, oh, I've been doing it for around about 7, 8 months. And it was like, oh, how long have you had your license? I was like, about 1 week more than that. And then yeah, they always laugh at that, and they was like, hey, is it a bit difficult? I was like, to be honest, the job is a little bit difficult, but it's nothing that I can't handle. You know, I really enjoy it. My first solo drive, I set up my speaker, which is just over there. I put my Spotify onto it, and I my first drive, I started playing Country Road, because I was driving through like these country roads sort of thing, and I was like, I feel like that was I think that was the trucker thing to do, to actually you know, just drive, listen to music, and uh, just get to the place where you wanted to be. You know, because to me, this feels like what I said to my boss when he asked me if I actually am enjoying the job. I said to him, it's like a driving holiday where every now and again you've got to pick up some cars. You know, and that's what it feels like, because I love driving, and driving's great. I love trucks. I love the countryside. I like the nice views that I get when I'm, you know, going down the motorway, or going down, you know, sort of back roads to avoid horrendous traffic on the motorway, because that is quite a difficult thing, traffic. Um, and yeah, just actually knowing that I've accomplished what I've set out to do, and that my life actually changed, and yeah, just that really, just actually taking it in, the fact of, you know, I was at that low point. Um, I was borderline, you know, suicidal, going through therapy, which, you know, therapy is stopped now. I'm not doing that anymore. Uh, and then getting the job and actually doing it, you know, and experiencing it every day. And then also uh, in August, just gone, I took my daughter and my fiance to Spain for, I think it was a week. Yeah, I took them to Spain for a week, and that was the first holiday that I've ever been able to pay for myself. You know, without having mum or dad take me as a kid, sort of thing. And I'm 33 years old, and that was my first actual holiday as an adult. Which, yeah, I think that was a massive point of pride as well. My fiance didn't have to pay a penny towards it; it was all funded by myself. You know, including all of the expenses while we was abroad. We mainly went to go see my parents because they live in Spain, and it was also my dad's birthday, and I was able to pay for every meal that we went out and stuff like that, and, you know, take my dad to an inflatable water park for his birthday, which was I actually give myself a bit of a concussion doing that. Yeah, that was great fun. Call veterans into logistics, uh, and if you're struggling, you know, with your career that you're in, change career to you know, doing this, because not only is it fun, it's it can be very relaxed. It's good money. Uh, it gives you that sense of purpose, and veterans into logistics really do help you out to get into it. And if you can find a company that you know, I'm working for, if you can find a company like that, you know, ADG Vehicle Transport, then you'll be living your best life, and it's absolutely fantastic. So you know, a massive thank you to Veterans into Logistics for actually helping me out, and also thank you to you know, ADG for taking me on at the time when they did. You know, because at the time when both of these people helped, both of these companies helped, I truly needed it. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Because the more people that can actually be helped with this, the better. And, you know, that's why I was so happy to jump at the idea of, you know, getting yourself to come down to talk to me about it, or come to the events that Veterans into Logistics and Samsara actually host, so I can come and tell my story and hopefully get more investors to actually help veterans into logistics, help more veterans.
Yeah.
Well, right now, my main focus is to get rid of all the debts that I accumulated in the time of not being able to afford things, because debts do pile up a lot. I've got a few that I've got left to pay, which should free up more of my wage. But honestly, I'm just happy going with how I am now, because yeah, I feel like I can actually sit back and think I've made it. They are a life-saving company, and give them a call.